Hi everyone, Bandana here, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to this week's Modded Monday. Today we're taking a look at the two best mods for Command & Conquer General 0 Hour. And no April Fools here. If you'd like to disagree with my choice of mods, if you have another mod that you really like for General 0 Hour, do mention it down in the comments. Let us know why you like it. As you know, this is a game series with a long history of modding. There are lots of good mods out there. Also, for those who don't know how to get these mods installed, particularly with the new Steam version coming out, what I'll do is pull up a video tomorrow explaining how to do that step by step. So what mods are we looking at today? Well, first we're going to look at Rise of the Reds, and then we're going to look at CNC Shockwave. These are both mods I played years and years and years ago when they were in their very first iterations pretty much, and they've changed so much since then. Now, I'm not doing these in any particular order, I'm just doing Rise of the Reds first and then Shockwave, but they are both absolutely fantastic mods and I recommend giving them both a go. So let's get straight into it. First up is Rise of the Reds. Now this adds two new factions. As you might guess, the Russian Federation being one with a tank-heavy sort of focus, and then also the European Continental Alliance, who are defense-heavy. And the three original factions, the USA, the GLA, and the Chinese, are still in there, but they have been greatly expanded and changed in various ways. They've got new units, new buildings, new powers, new super weapons, and you'll find that a lot of this new stuff that's been changed up is a little more realistic to the real world, and you'll see some units which have the same name as real world stuff. They've still got the crazy Command & Conquer things in there, but they've also got some new technologies and things that maybe relate more to the real world. They also change up how everything flows, so the gameplay mechanics have been shifted around. Examples would include their technology progression system based around 3 tiers, so you gradually unlock more stuff as you rank up as a general. And they've also improved various other interactions between units such as air and anti-air, stealth and things like that to make it more viable. I will note that the generals themselves have been removed, so you just have basically a choice of each of the factions, though the plan was for in a future version to have your general selection or specialization selection at the start of the match, which a lot of you won't know was actually the plan for the original Command & Conquer Generals in its beta version that never got released to the public. If you ever get a chance, look into that. I'm sure there's some videos on YouTube, but it's really fascinating the game we got in the end from Generals compared to what the beta was, because the beta looked incredible when you go back and look at the footage and the graphics and stuff, and they just massively toned everything down for the actual release of the game. It's really weird. Now, what actually happened with this mod is it was being worked on until like 2015, and then it kind of shut down, but in the last year or two they've kind of rekindled the project and are now working on it again. It's pretty slow going, but they do intend to eventually release this 2.0 version, which will bring the generals back, as I say, as these specialization options at the start. They say they would also like to make some new campaigns and a new general style mode, but I think some of that is probably a pipe dream for the moment. I spent some time playing with all of the factions, including the old ones. I won't go into too much detail, but I'll just say they're all really good. I like the changes they've made. There's some really new interesting units, and they've changed up how the game flows and plays quite well. You know, it takes a bit of getting used to know how to unlock stuff and get certain places, and indeed, you know, get the general star unlocks so you can rank up and get access to the top tier equipment. But I like the fact there were various choices you could make that allowed you to play the factions in a slightly different way. And if they then managed to add in 3 sub-factions for each of these to pick from at the start, then that's going to make it even more varied, which I hope they manage to do that. I do hope they get that finished. What I will say is the mod is fantastic as it is just now and has been since 2015 when it was released as it is, and any updates after that are just a bonus at the end of the day. Oh, and another good thing about this mod that I really liked is that AI is capable of playing with the new factions and everything. It doesn't just sit back and do nothing. Okay, that's Rise of the Reds. Let's move on to CNC Shockwave. So the aim of the Shockwave mod, as they say on their ModDB page, is to make the game more interesting with more diversity between the generals, making you think twice before you select a certain general, and overall provide more choices, diversity and strategic freedom than you get in base Zero Hour, while keeping the spirit and design direction of the original game and storyline. So, other than jiggling around the original generals as well, you also get 3 brand new generals, one for each faction. First up is Deathstrike, the GLA general who works around salvage. Then there is Ironside, who is a tank general for the USA. And then Liang, who is a special weapons general for China. Now, you can't play the campaigns in this mod, but you can play the challenge mode. I believe that works, though it hasn't been updated. Their original intention was at some point to rework challenge mode, but unfortunately work stopped on the mod back in 2016, and that was never completed. However, regardless of that, the mod was technically otherwise complete, with over 100 new units, loads of new structures, upgrade maps, and many other gameplay tweaks for all the generals, not just the new ones. So if you go back and play the original generals, such as General Alexander, the super weapon general, you'll find that she has new upgrade options for generals' powers, she has new units, and she has new buildings as well, including some new defensive buildings. What I don't want to do, and you'll notice I'm avoiding doing, is going into lots of detail about what gets added to where. The reason for that is, part of the fun is going in and having a look yourself and exploring through all the different generals. So that's Shockwave. Shockwave is effectively generals, but more generals. And then Rise of the Reds shakes things up again by removing the generals concept for the moment, though hopefully they might add that back in a different format, and just adding in those new factions, adding in some more real world stuff, and basically changing up the formula rather than trying to keep it the same as the original. Both mods are absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend giving them both a go. They provide hours of additional fun on top of what you get with the original games, and they are of course multiplayer as well, working through the various community-based add-ons. I'll leave this video there. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any other suggestions for mods, do leave them down below. If you've played these mods and you have a favourite leader or faction or general, let us know down in the comments why you like them, why you enjoy playing them. Thanks again for watching. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and like if you haven't already, and I'll see you all soon for some more Modded Mondays.